Now, my big question guest tonight is a superstar. She made a huge splash as a contestant on Love Island. Memorable, I would suggest. She made headlines, and yes, she made a few quid in the process. She's been a fixture on reality TV, appearing in, among other TV hits, Celebs Go Dating. She's also a model and a big star on the subscription site OnlyFans. My next guest struggled with her mental health and body confidence from being a teenager, which was exacerbated by her overnight fame. But now she's a big advocate for self-love, which she talks about very candidly in her podcast, You Come First. And if that wasn't enough, she also writes a column for Vice. She's had an amazing few years and she's got a huge following. I'm delighted to welcome Megan Barton-Hanson. Hi, Megan.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Great to have you on the show. Can you believe this is your life?
No, it's weird, especially when I get really great opportunities like the Vice column and things like that. It is like a proper pinch me moment.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, when did you get into modelling? Because I guess that's when you began your kind of public profile, was as a model.
Yeah, so it kind of just happened organically. Instagram started getting big and I just enjoyed getting naked and feeling liberated and posting kind of provocative bikini pictures. And that was just for free on Instagram. And my following grew from that. And then someone reached out and was like, would you want to shoot for our magazine? And it was like a glamour magazine. So it just kind of snowballed from there.
And has the modelling been a positive experience for you, that career? Has that worked out? Because we know there is exploitation, isn't there, sometimes?
Yeah, that's why I'm so passionate about OnlyFans as a platform, because I think it is tricky. Young girls are so determined to make it in the modelling industry, especially glamour, because there are people who will take advantage. It can be tricky, but I think you've got to have your head screwed on and really know what you're doing. And I think it's so much safer nowadays with platforms like OnlyFans, where you can control what level you shoot to and you own the rights to your pictures.
And Megan, what do you do on OnlyFans? I mean, for those that don't know, it's a subscription website, it's an app. People pay a certain amount of money every month and they get exclusive photographs and video clips of models, entertainers, musicians, you name it. So what do your subscribers get?
So for me, I feel like the biggest draw is I post pictures that Instagram would deem unsuitable, like that picture just now, just because it's underwear that could get removed from Instagram, whereas it wouldn't on OnlyFans. And it just gives me a chance to really interact with my fans and DM them and stuff. It's more of a private platform. And I feel it's such a positive community. There's no trolling on OnlyFans. Obviously, everyone's paying because they want to see your content. So it's much more positive space, I would say.
Yeah, and I guess, is there nudity on your profile? Is that something that happens?
So I think this is the biggest misconception. I only shoot to underwear and bikini pictures, so no more than what you would see and girls post for free on Instagram anyway. But I think it just gives you that real behind the scenes. I'll just take selfies at home, and like I said, I interact with my fans on the messages. And I have women, I have gay guys. It's just more of a intimate platform, I think, than Instagram, where I've got millions of followers.
More tailored, more personal, more exclusive. I completely understand. Megan, what's your judgment about OnlyFans' decision to reverse a ban on adult material? I'm very conscious that's not what you do, but there are some on OnlyFans who I guess do a bit of pornography, and that's going to carry on. Is that the right move?
Yeah, 100%. I was so disappointed. I'm a big advocate for sex work, obviously being an ex-stripper and being a webcam model before Love Island. I think there shouldn't be any shame. I think we're trying to move forward and destigmatise sex work. And then a big platform like OnlyFans, which has made millions off of sex work, it was like, oh no, we don't want it anymore. So I'm glad they've come to their senses.
And how was it to be a stripper? Because that's actually a very underrated skill, isn't it? People kind of snigger about stripping, but it's a bit of an art form, in fact.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel again, it's a very old-fashioned view that it's an easy job, it's not a proper job. But a lot of it, people just want companionship and someone to talk to. And it really was liberating for me to work with other women. There's this real sense of sisterhood. So it's not as sleazy as people like to make out. I think that's a very old-fashioned view of looking at it that way.
Megan, you're a very beautiful lady. You've got a gazillion fans. You have had a little bit of work done, and I think that started when you were 17. Is that right? Tell me about that journey and why you did it.
Yeah, growing up, obviously, we all know at school kids can be evil. So, yeah, I got bullied and had a hard time because my ears were like sticking out and I had a lot of comments. And it was kind of running my life. Like, I would wake up in the morning, not want to go to school, not be focused on studying. So, I got my parents to pay for my ears to be pinned back at a young age. And I think if it's going to take over your day and your life, why is there a stigma around getting surgery? So, for me, that really helped. Obviously, as I've got older, I've had more surgery, but it's not like excessive. I think, again, people love to tear people down, and I don't know why surgery is seen as such like a negative thing. If you're really doing your research and it makes you feel happy, you should be entitled to do what you want with your body. If I want to have pink hair and covered in tattoos, like, let me live.
Yeah, do you think that the plastic surgery is comparable to other aspects of grooming, Megan? Is that all it is, a sort of more elaborate version of going to the hairdressers?
Yeah, I think with a more expensive price tag, more risks. But if you want to like head to toe tattoo your face, tattoo everywhere, people won't really judge you for that. But I think if it's like surgery, people love to say, compare and be like, oh, she's not naturally like this. I feel like as a woman, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you're completely natural, then you're classed as like basic or ugly. If you have surgery, you're fake and plastic. So it's like, how can we win?
What do you think you might go for next then, Megan, or will you wait a few years? Have you got any ideas about your next procedure?
No, and it's not really, I think as well, people think, oh, if you've had surgery, it must be like, oh, an addiction, you have to get more and more. For me, I'm happy and content. I'm like the happiest I've been looks wise. I think as you get older, you start to care less, don't you? You're like, oh, I don't care if I put on a few, I don't care if I put on a few pounds this week, I'm happy. So for me, I think as I get older, it's more my mental health that's more important.
Yeah. Do you think I need work?
No, you're stunning. And as long as you feel good.
Well, look, I'm not the eye candy. I never have been. Megan, you obviously went into the villa. You were in Love Island. How was that experience?
It was really good. And for me, I was fortunate enough because of the stripping, I earned good money. So it wasn't like me wanting to be famous or earn good money. It was more to like push me out of my comfort zone because I was incredibly painfully shy at school. And I thought this is the scariest thing I could ever do. And I did it and I loved it.
Well, you did it and you had a full relationship and you're very proud of that. You're not sort of backward about coming forward that you really did the Love Island.
Yeah, I believe if you're going to do something in life, do it properly.
Completely agree. Do you think, because you've commented on this in the past, Love Island's been criticised for their lack of LGBTQ plus inclusion. What's your view on that?
Yeah, it's so disappointing. I feel like it would be so much more interesting and so helpful for young guys. I have so many bisexual men actually message me and be like, I wish I could come out, but I'm scared of being stereotyped and just classed as gay. If as a man I say I'm bisexual. Yeah. And I think it would be really, really healthy for young boys to see that it's okay. But they say logistically it won't work out, which is a shame. Maybe one day.
You've always been very ballsy and very open about your life, and I think very inspiring to lots of other people, Megan, including the fact that when you came out of the villa, you expressed the fact that you are a bisexual person. Would you like to have explored that more when you were on the show?
Yeah, definitely. But I felt like I'm quite smart and I already had a bit of backlash for stripping in my local area, and I knew that would be a big thing on TV. An ITV channel like that is very like PG, a family show. The fact I was a stripper was already controversial. I didn't want to add to that and say, oh, I like girls as well.
No, too right. Well, it's quite interesting, isn't it? I mean, lots of other things have happened, mainly good things. You were the victim of a burglary a while back. Can you tell me about the impact that had on you and the aftermath?
Yeah, that was really a horrendous time in my life. So I was just breaking up with the guy I left the show Love Island with. So that was bad enough. That was all over the press. And there was literally like 5 paparazzis like outside our house every day. Obviously that would draw attention from locals. So then we got burgled, sadly. I mean, it was all right for him. He was only like 20 and had free Boohoo clothes. It was me that suffered. Everything I stripped for, gone.
Devastating. I'm really, really sorry that happened. What are your thoughts about the future? I mean, do you want to do more reality TV? Would you go into the jungle?
Oh my God, I think I'd be comedy gold if I'd done the jungle, but I'll do a Gemma Collins. I'd last a day and be like, no, I'm out.
I think you'd win, which would be amazing, but you'd be stuck there for weeks. That's a big concern.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about that. I don't know if I'm strong enough. I'm strong like mentally in a lot of ways, but I think the millipedes and the eating tasks, that's where I draw the line.
If you were going to be in the jungle and you could choose which celebrities were around you, who would you go for?
It's really hard. You know, I don't have a lot of friends in like TV and reality because there's such big personality. I don't know who I would pick. Gemma Collins would be entertaining for a day or two, and then I'll be like, okay, enough now.
Enough now. How do you think Love Island has changed? This is a brilliant question from Finley. How has Love Island changed since you were on it? Do you still watch it? Do you rate the show?
I did watch this year just because it had been such a long time since it was on air and I'd never really watched it before. But I do think people know now, they know to be Mr. or Mrs. Nice Guy to get the brand deals after. I don't think it's genuine at all. I think the first couple of series was really good.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Brilliant question from Debbie on Twitter. Following the spate of suicides after appearances on Love Island, do you feel that the contestants are sufficiently supported after leaving the show?
It's tricky. I feel like there is always someone there, like on site during the show and after. But I think now they've brought in a rule where you have to have compulsory 6 therapy sessions when you leave, which we never had, which I think is so healthy because at the time you don't think you need it. You're now like famous, you're a Z-lister, you're doing your PAs, but it really is helpful and healthy to just speak to someone.
Pickle has also tweeted in, by the way, we will never get through all these questions. You've got so many supporters out there. Did you feel pressured to lose weight and look as skinny as possible before entering the villa? A lot of contestants after leaving the villa go back to more natural weight, which is why I ask. And that's, as I say, from Pickle.
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone does. Like, it's when you go like on a holiday, you'll try and eat healthy and be good before you go on holiday. So let alone going on a holiday where it's going to be filmed to millions of people. But for me, I didn't know I was going to go on and I overthink everything. So I literally got a call 2 days before and was like, fly out to Spain. But so many people said I had a lovely figure on Love Island. I wasn't the skinniest and I didn't care. I owned it.
What do you think about websites and apps and social media platforms like Instagram, especially for young women and girls? Do you think that it's a concern or should we just allow these particular platforms to kind of exist and show perfect images of people?
It's really difficult and I do worry. Like myself, when I first come out of Love Island, I caught myself comparing to other contestants of Love Island and it's getting harder and harder and I dread to think like how my kids will feel with all that social media. But I feel like at the same time, if it wasn't social media and Instagram, it would be like music videos or I don't know, like Vogue magazine or different magazines where you see like the ideal standard of beauty. So it's always been there. I think it's just a bit more intense. But having said that, Instagram's really helped me, especially when I come out as bisexual. It's such a good sense of community amongst like LGBTQ plus people and like mental health and even sex, because it can be used in the right way. And I think there's always been that kind of ideal beauty standard, whether it's magazines or music videos or films.
I love that particular shot there. I couldn't do that one because I would become very dizzy, you see. And I'm not sure my lower back could manage that angle. But clearly you're very imaginative. Do you think you're going to be entertaining your OnlyFans subscribers for years to come? I mean, have you in your head got a retirement date or are you going to do this forever?
Do you know what? I kind of really enjoy it, and I feel like there is pressure as a woman. I think if you have kids, then you shouldn't be. People say, "Oh, you shouldn't be on OnlyFans." For me, the moment I stop enjoying it is the moment that I'm going to log off, because I just don't think it's fair to the fans to do it half-heartedly. And I don't want it to be a chore. Right now, I love it. Like, I get the most, as you can see there, like the most extra wigs. I have stylists, makeup artists, a whole team around me. And it's like a fun day out playing adult dress up. So I love it for now. As soon as I stop enjoying it, then I'm going to log off.
Megan, I got one last question. Before that, how can people find out what you do? Where's the best place to go? For example, OnlyFans, Instagram. What are your important social media handles?
So on Instagram, my name's Megan Barton-Hanson _, and from there you can find links to my podcast, You Come First, my Vice column, and my OnlyFans.
Fantastic stuff. And I've got a brilliant last question. It's anonymous on Twitter, and the question is, what's the best pickup line a guy has used on you, or a girl, frankly?
I'm not sure. People don't even try and use. They're like, "Oh, I recognise you, but I don't know where from." And it's like, you do know where from. You've seen the lap dance on national TV. You've seen my funny one-liners. Don't act like you don't know.
Brilliant stuff. We loved having you on the show. Congratulations on everything you've achieved, and I wish you well for the future. Come and see us in the studio soon, Megan.
Definitely. Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Great stuff. Model, podcast host, and columnist Megan Barton-Hanson. I'm going to try that sofa shot after this break. Well, maybe. We'll see if health and safety allows it.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.